We've got a client right now relocating from San Diego to Kansas City. His budget opens up either Overland Park or Olathe, and the conversation we've been having with him has almost nothing to do with which city is better. Because here's the thing nobody on YouTube will tell you straight. Overland Park versus Olathe isn't really a competition, it never was. Most people would be happy in either. The ones who aren't have a very specific reason, usually. And the entire point of this video is to help you figure out what is your reason. There's one road, one school district line, and 3 questions about your life that decide this thing. Most agents won't walk you through any of it, we will. And before we get into it, at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you 3-question framework we walk every single buyer through, whether they're at $400,000 or $2 million. Once you answer them honestly, this stops being a comparison and starts being a clear answer. So stick with us to the end. I'm Joe Nelson, team leader of Nelson Home Group at Keller Williams KC North. We're the highest rated real estate team on Google in the entire Kansas City metro. I'm also a 21-year retired Air Force veteran and a licensed mortgage originator, which means we don't just sell you a house. We sit on both sides of the financing conversation too. We help people relocate to Kansas City every single week, and Johnson County is where many of those conversations end up. So if you're researching Overland Park versus Olathe right now, you're exactly the kind of buyer we talk to often. I make these videos because I actually want to work with you. That's the whole reason we do this. If anything in here lines up with your situation, reach out. Our contact info is right below the video. Now let's get into it. Start here because this is the part nobody explains correctly. South of Interstate 435, Flum Road is basically the dividing line between Overland Park and Olathe. You can stand on Flum and look to the east and you're in Overland Park, look to the west, you're in Olathe. Same builder, same style of house, different mailing address, different city, different price. That one street matters. Now, the commute reality. If you live in Olathe, you're spending most of your life driving on Interstate 35 probably. If you live in Overland Park, you're running mostly on US 69 highway. Depending on where your job is, that alone can decide the whole conversation before we even talk about the house. And here's the part that most relocation guides leave out. Olathe is pushing aggressively south and west. New construction is going up well past 159th Street and beyond. The map will tell you it's still Olathe. Your commute will tell you something different. A house that looks like a 15-minute drive on Google Maps can be a 45-minute reality at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. Drive it before you commit. We always tell relocation clients the same thing. Now, before we go any further, I want to set the table for the rest of this video, because most of the content online about Overland Park versus Olathe is built on a false premise, in my opinion. The premise is that one city is better than the other, and your job is to try to figure out which one wins. That's the wrong framework for me, and that's not how this works. Overland Park is the dense, established corporate anchor of Johnson County. Per niche.com, Overland Park earns an A+ overall grade and is consistently ranked among the top places to live in America. Major employers, major retail corridors, restaurants, and shopping packed into a tighter space than anywhere else on the Kansas side. Plug and play, you're done. Olathe is bigger geographically, less built out and growing fast. Per niche.com, Olathe earns an A grade and ranks amongst top cities in Kansas. The park system is one of the strongest in the metro. Black Bob Park, Heritage Park, the Cedar Lake area. Newer subdivisions, more elbow room, more land per dollar in a lot of cases. Both are exceptional. Both are top tier Kansas City suburbs by every objective measure. Neither one is better. They are different products for different buyers. Most of the people who watch this video would honestly be happy in either. We say that to clients often and it surprises them because they come in expecting us to crown a winner. We don't, because there isn't one. The buyers who feel strongly about one over the other have a specific reason, and that reason is always personal. It's not Overland Park is objectively better, it's I work downtown and the commute matters. Or I want a half-acre lot, I'm not going to find one in Overland Park. Maybe I want walkability to a country club and I'm going to find that in Overland Park. Specific, personal, not universal. So the rest of this video is about which one is better. It's about helping you figure out which one fits the life you're actually trying to build. We're gonna walk through the real estate at 2 different price points, the school district reality, and then the 3-question framework that pulls it all together. Let's start with the $400,000 to $600,000 range because that's where the largest pool of Johnson County buyers actually shop. Overland Park at $400,000 to $600,000, largely built out, smaller lots, older housing stock at the more affordable end, higher price per square foot. You're paying for the address, the convenience, the amenity density, and the niche.com grade. If you're someone who values being 5 minutes for everything you need, that's the trade you're making, and it's a fair one. Olathe at the same price point. More house usually, more lot, often maybe some newer construction. You're trading some convenience and some commute time for square footage in yard. Also a fair trade depending on who you are. Neither is the right answer. The right answer depends on you. If your daily life requires you to be close to corporate corridors, retails, and restaurants, Overland Park earns the premium. If you'd rather have more room and you don't mind a little bit longer drive or slightly less developed neighborhood, Olathe might feel like a better deal. Both are true, both are right, just for different people. There is one thing that overrides all of it at this price point, and we're going to get to it in a minute. Now, the luxury buyer. If you're in the $1 million to $2.5 million range, the conversation shifts again. Price per square foot still matters. These buyers don't get to $1 or $2 million by ignoring numbers, but it stops being the deciding factor probably. Lifestyle, lot, privacy, character of the home. Those start outweighing the per square foot math. You're still buying a house, you're also buying a life around it. And here's the part that surprises people at this price tier. Overland Park doesn't automatically win at the top of the market either. The fit question matters even more, not less, when you have more money to spend. Here's a real example. We've got a client right now relocating from San Diego with his family. Budget in the high 1 millions, maybe the low 2s. Now, this is the part that goes against the assumption you'd make. They came to us already comfortable with Olathe. They've got family in the area. They know it. They're fine with either Olathe schools or Blue Valley schools. That piece is already settled for them. So this isn't an Overland Park versus Olathe debate for them. The question for this family is about the house itself. Here's what they want: at least 5,000 square feet. Established construction. They don't want new. They want some character, some maturity, some trees that didn't just get planted last year. And they don't want to feel like they're on top of their neighbor. Now, for context, coming from San Diego, that last one is almost a given. On top of your neighbor in San Diego means something completely different than it means in Olathe or Overland Park. The lot sizes here are going to feel generous, probably no matter what neighborhood or area they land in. So that's not a huge constraint for them. But they would like more space, and the constraint is the combination, the square footage, the established house with some real space around it. That does narrow the inventory pretty fast, and here's the other piece that simplifies the search. He's working in Olathe, so the commute conversation, which is usually a major decision driver in the whole video, is off the table for this particular family. They're staying in Olathe regardless. So where do you find that combination? Established, 5,000 plus square feet, real lot, in Olathe. You go to the pockets that have been around long enough to have grown trees and grown into themselves. Cedar Creek is an obvious option. The custom build sections that went up maybe 15 or 20 years ago, they now have the maturity people are looking for, and the original lots in there were generous to begin with. Some of the established estate pockets along the western edge of Olathe before the new development pushed past them. The point of this story isn't that Olathe is better, it's that the right answer for this family had nothing to do with city versus city. Their answer came from one question: what does the house actually need to do for our life? Once we got that part straight, the search got a little simpler. For other luxury clients though, the answer's been Overland Park, and for the same reason: fit. The way we frame it for every luxury client is one question. On a Saturday night, are you going out or are you hosting? If you want to walk to the country club, drive 10 minutes to a top steakhouse, and have your social life plug into an established neighborhood, Overland Park communities like Hallbrook and Lionsgate are built for that. If you want to host 30 people on your private back lanai, look out at a wooden ravine and not hear your neighbors, Cedar Creek and the established estate pockets on Olathe are built for that. Both are good, real luxury. They serve completely different lifestyles, and neither one is better. They're answers to different questions about how you actually want to live. Now, here's the line that the rest of the conversation pivots on, and this is one of the things that most agents may not say out loud. There is no Olathe discount in Blue Valley schools. Period. Here's what that means. The Blue Valley School District does not respect city limits. It's actually headquartered in Overland Park, but it covers sections of Overland Park, Leawood, Stillwell, parts of Olathe, and even extends down into Miami County. So when you see a home with an Olathe mailing address, the school assignment is not automatic. A real example: Nottingham at Heritage Park is an Olathe address. 66062 zip code, just east of Flum in the Heritage Park area, but that neighborhood is fully integrated into the Blue Valley School District. Kids there go to Morse Elementary, Aubrey Bend Middle, and Blue Valley Southwest High School. Olathe address, Blue Valley schools, and the price tags reflect Blue Valley, not Olathe. That pattern repeats across the southeast pocket of Olathe, generally south of 135th Street and east of Flum. If you're shopping that area thinking you're going to get an Olathe price tag with a Blue Valley school, you're going to be disappointed. You're paying Overland Park tier prices because you're buying into the school district boundary, and the market knows it. The school district line is the price floor in Johnson County, not the city line, the school district line. Get that detail wrong and it does change your buying strategy completely. Speaking of schools, let's address this honestly because it drives so many of these decisions and there's no objectively better district either. Per niche.com, the Blue Valley School District holds an A+ grade and is consistently ranked among the top public school districts in Kansas. The Olathe Public School District also earns an A grade from niche.com and is known statewide for its specialized career academy programs at the high school level. Programs that focus on real-world career pathways like engineering, biosciences, and professional studies that compete with anything in the metro. Out-of-state relocators have heard the Blue Valley name. That's the brand. Local families know Olathe schools are exceptional too, just with a different strength profile. Both are A-tier districts by every objective measure. The honest take is this: if your kids thrive in a traditionally academic college prep environment, Blue Valley has a deep reputation for that. If your kids are interested in specialized career pathways and hands-on programs, Olathe's career academies are nationally recognized. That's not a value judgment, also a fit conversation like the whole video. Same as everything else. And here's one more nuance most relocation guides skip. Olathe is now growing so far south that some new construction at the southern edge of the city actually falls into the Spring Hill School District, not Olathe. Different district, different boundary. If schools matter to you, verify the school assignment on the specific address before you fall in love with the house. Don't assume the city tells you the school. Don't assume the school tells you the price. If you want to go deeper on Kansas City relocation, we've got a full playlist on Kansas City relocation. It'll be linked below. We also did a full video on living in Kansas City, Kansas versus Missouri that pairs perfectly with this video. We'll link it as well. If you're trying to decide which side of the state line to even start on, watch that one first, then come back to this. All right, here's the framework I promised at the start, and this is the actual point of the entire video. 3 questions. Once you answer them honestly, the Overland Park versus Olathe debate stops being a debate. The house picks itself. Question 1, how far am I willing to drive every single day? Not on a good day, on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock with an accident on the highway. Overland Park puts you closer to most things. Olathe trades some of that for space. There's no right answer, only the answer that fits your life. Question 2, how much room do I actually need? Not how much do I want in theory. How much will I actually use? Overland Park is built out. Olathe is still developing. If you need a yard, a workshop, room to breathe, that answer matters. If you trade space for proximity, that matters too. And question 3, am I trying to plug into an existing community or am I trying to build my own? Overland Park is plug and play. The neighborhoods, the country clubs, the routines, they're there. Olathe gives you more architectural freedom and more space to make your own version of life. Different products, different people, different right answers. And remember, some of this is just more in generic terms. Don't get me in the comment because there's one outlier. And once you answer these questions honestly, this stops being a coin flip. The house picks itself, that's the whole game. We put together a KC Relocation guide that breaks down some different neighborhoods, costs, schools, and commute times in a way no algorithm is going to give it to you. Sign up on our website and we'll send it to you for free. It's the same playbook we walk a lot of our relocation clients through on day 1, including the San Diego family we talked about earlier. Head to NelsonHomeGroupKC.com. Here's the thing, we make these videos because we want to work with you. That's the whole reason we do this. If you're moving to Kansas City, if you've been treating Overland Park versus Olathe like a competition you have to win, if you're a veteran trying to figure out your VA loan options on top of all this, we want to hear from you. Stop trying to pick a winner. Start trying to figure out what fits your life. Reach us right through the link below, however is easiest for you. We'll be there. Don't sit on this. The market moves fast, and the sooner we talk, the more options you'll have. I'm Joe Nelson with the Nelson Home Group. Let's get to work.